Scorpio, welcome back to Cardinal Fire Tarot and to your September reading. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me over on Instagram at Cardinal Fire Tarot. I post quotes and, lunch break readings, daily stuff like that. And then also, Cardinal Fire Tarot now has its own website, cardinalfiretarot.com. So, if you are interested in booking a private reading with me, make sure to go check it out. And let's go ahead and get started. There's a lot of major arcana coming out already. There is a lot of change happening in your life right now, Scorpio. I'm not even entirely sure yet what change this is. We'll get more when we clarify. But whatever it is, it's bringing in a whole new era of happiness, contentment, and movement. So for the overall energy for the reading, we have the sun. I mean, that's beautiful. You are happy, you are shining, you are in your energy right now. And then for the recent past, we have the Eight of Cups. So the thing about, think of the traditional Eight of Cups is this person walking away from 8 cups there. The idea of the card is there are 8 cups that person has to leave behind in order to find the 9th cup. Like, they're not necessarily leaving behind just a horrific, terrible situation. They're probably leaving behind an situation because they know there's better. They know that they're not going to settle for right? Then in the current energy, we have the moon. Right now, I'm reading this as you had a lot of movement here in the recent past, so this is you just trying to, rest, recharge, become acclimated to the movement that's been happening. But we'll see more when we clarify. There might be something else there, but right now, that's how I'm taking that. And then in the near future, we have the Eight of Wands, which is also movement and very quick movement. So there's just a lot of changes for you here in September. And then in the energy that surrounds you, you have Temperance. So these changes, I'm sure, are feeling quite overwhelming right now because you've got a lot just movement happening. And that's always overwhelming, right? That's leaving your comfort zone into the unknown. But what you don't necessarily see is all of this change and movement is creating balance for you. It's creating harmony in your life. It is necessary change. And then in your challenge, you have the High Priestess. So maybe not being open and receptive to your intuition, maybe not trusting your gut instinct on some things. And then in your strength, you have the Ace of Wands. So this is like, with all of this change comes in you following new passions. I mean, look at this little Picasso baby on this card. Like, he probably doesn't know how to paint, but he's willing to learn. He's willing to try because it's something new. It's something passionate. So let's go ahead and get some clarifiers out on the table. We're going to start with the sun and the overall energy. So clarifying the sun, we have the Five of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Whatever you're moving away from was just not working. I'm not even going to say it was a bad situation, it just wasn't working. So the Five of Swords can be read different ways, right? So it can be read from one side, which is to win at all costs. Or it can be read from the opposite side, which is defeat. You know, one person is winning in the Five of Swords, but then the other two people there on the shore are walking away with their head bowed down. Like, they lost. So, and then the Six of Swords is movement. That's moving on to calmer waters. So, whatever you were leaving before wasn't it. And you know it. You know it. And so you're moving on to the great perhaps. To what might be better. Which probably will be better. And the Ace of Pentacles is like, this new beginning is also bringing in some stability. Which my guess is probably some self-care. I don't know what the past situation was. I don't know what this Five of Swords energy is necessarily, but it couldn't have felt good, and you couldn't have been taking care of yourself and have been in that space. So I'm thinking with this new renewal and these changes happening, it's also bringing in some self-care, some stability, some emotional regulation. All right, let's clarify that Eight of Cups in the recent past. I swear, sometimes when I'm shuffling, it's like my hands just forget what they're doing. So clarifying the Eight of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands, the Lovers, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so whatever you had to walk away from, whatever it was that you were moving on from, you weren't sure you were making the right choice. Nine of Wands is a very defensive energy. It's the wounded warrior of the deck. And so there looks like there's some apprehension around the decision to walk away from the Eight Cups and go look for your ninth. But you still chose to do it. You still chose to do it. But the Lovers here is the duality of making that decision. It's being stuck between the rock and the hard place. Like, do I go left? Do I go right? What do I do? You know? And that is a hard place to be in. Like, do I stay or do I go? Kind of energy. All right, let's clarify that moon in the current energy. All right, so clarifying the moon, we have The Sun, the Page of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. Wow. Wow. This moon energy is you pausing and figuring out what makes you happy. Ten of Cups is the card of emotional fulfillment, okay? You've got this little family here, they're dancing, they're loving life, you know. And then the Sun is literally the card of happiness, and we've had it twice now. We've got double happiness going on right now. So, and then Page of Swords is, for me, oftentimes curiosity. The Page of Swords has a very curious energy. So it's like you resting, taking a pause, taking a step back, and figuring out, what do I want? What makes me happy? What brings me fulfillment? Where do I see my life going in my highest good? All right, let's clarify that Eight of Wands in the near future. So clarifying the Eight of Wands, we have the Nine of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. There is a whole lot of not knowing what the hell you're doing. Which is interesting, because I feel like you somewhat overcame that energy in the recent past, but it's cycling back around in the near future. And by the looks of it, even stronger. Like, Nine of Swords that's a heavy energy. That is, the energy of nightmares and anxiety and ruminating and staying awake at night. Like, that's that kind of energy. With the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, which is both just cards of, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But it's showing up out under the Eight of Wands, which is still fast movement. So, my guess is we had this moment back here where we weren't really sure, but we went with it. We have this moment right now where we finally get to take a breath and we're like, oh, okay, this feels good. And then the universe is like, oh, keep it moving, baby. And then you're thrown right back in it. So, it's a process, okay? As is all of life. Think back on your life. Think back on all the highs and lows that you have hit and overcome and experienced. I can think back on even just from like 3, 4, 5 years ago, these situations in my life that felt like the end of the world. Like, I felt like my world was crashing down in front of me, and I was never going to recover from this. I was never going to be able to put one foot in front of the other and move on. And now it's like, I don't even think about those times anymore. I did move on. Not only did I move on, but I also healed from it. So just try to keep that in mind as life throws you where life wants to. Keep in mind that, yes, it is overwhelming, and your feelings and emotions around this are valid, because change is oftentimes overwhelming, especially when it's unexpected and just thrown at you. But have some faith, have some trust that you are being led to where you're supposed to be. All right, let's clarify that Temperance and the energy that surrounds you. Ooh. Okay. I bent this card a little bit. Oops. So, clarifying Temperance, we have the Emperor, the Empress, and Judgment. So many major arcanas are coming out on the table right now, and it doesn't surprise me at all. Because with all of these major changes happening for you, Scorpio, like, these are big life events, right? So the minor arcana, that's the day-to-day kind of stuff. Like, not that it's not important, because every day-to-day adds up to the whole of your life. But that's like, day-to-day. Major arcana, that's like huge, big life, milestone stones, maybe? I don't know, that's the best word I'm coming up with. But you get what I mean? Like, the major arcana is the big stuff, and you've got it all over the table right now. And that's because this is big. This is a lot of changes coming through. But with this Emperor and this Empress coming out, a lot of you are either finding a soul connection with somebody, whether it's romantic or a friendship, where it just works. I mean, the Emperor and the Empress are, you know, they go together. It just works. Or you're finding the balance within yourself, the masculine and the feminine energy, the perfect balance between the two, temperance in the middle. Like, that is extremely balanced, beautiful energy. And then Judgment's coming through as well. Like, my guess, are you stepping up to the plate? Are you embodying the energy of this balanced, tempered, you know, situation, scenario? Are you handling this with grace and with faith in order to allow it to turn into this? All right, let's clarify that High Priestess in your challenge. All right, clarifying the High Priestess, we have the Three of Cups, Strength, another major arcana, and the Queen of Swords. Know when to let your guard down, Scorpio. Know when to let it down. I know when things are overwhelming, you want to tense up. That's human nature. That's you know, that's a defense mechanism. You want to tense up. You want to put on your mask, and you want to keep everybody at arm's length. Know when to let your guard down, because there is so much joy and so much celebration and so much happiness in the mix of all this. So while it's scary and overwhelming, it's also beautiful. So allow yourself to not only recognize it, but to invite that into your life. All right, let's clarify that Ace of Wands and your strength. Alright, clarifying the Ace of Wands, we have Death, another major arcana, and okay, is Death your card? Yes, I think Death is your card. Either that or it's Capricorn. And then we have the Moon, the Queen of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. Yes. Okay. With all these new endings and beginnings, there is so much happening. Like, okay, the universe has a grand plan for all of us, right? And it's up here orchestrating this shit, and we can't even begin to comprehend the grand plan, right? Because we just aren't that divine, you know? We are divine beings, don't take that the wrong way. But we're not the universe, and we can't see that. But with all these endings and beginnings is so much love and so much self-care and so much happiness. Like, this is good, Scorpio. Even though it's being delivered in an extremely scary package, it's still good. So, that's what I have for you. If you resonate with this message, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, and let me know down below in the comments. Thank you.